Tracey, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm so glad to be able to have time with you, to be able to talk.
I know, Jason. You are absolutely one of my favorite people. Let's just start there. And I love introducing you to the world. I'm looking on Periscope, and you seem to be fine on Periscope. Let me check on YouTube.
What do you mean by fine on Periscope? Because I haven't been on Periscope in since we used to go on Periscope like back in the day.
You know, Periscope is ending.
What? How come?
I guess it just didn't pick up on, stuff.
Is it because the other social medias caught up to doing the live aspects, the interactive stuff?
I think it's IG. I think IG just really went somewhere with all their shots, their live, social media. Yeah, you're right. And specifically, I think IG. I don't know. They're just getting rid of that platform. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Hi, Jason and Tracey. Hi, Alan Dreamer. Hi, Lucille. So, Periscope is adios, amigos, March 31st. And I think Twitter is going to revamp their video stream to be more like IG. I don't know what's happening. I think Twitter's a little antiquated.
Yeah, do you find that you do more of the video chat like more easily, naturally, as opposed to tweeting words to people?
Yeah. It depends. Like, I still like Twitter, right? I don't like Facebook. I do like IG. And I do like Twitter, but only because I can express myself better with Twitter. Like, it's my voice with Twitter. It's not my voice with Facebook, really.
Right. Do words on Twitter, do they capture your personality?
On Twitter, much more my personality, especially my angry side. Yeah, I can really rip on Twitter on my angry side, although, lately every social media has put me on timeout, for one reason or another. Sometimes it's not true, but they don't like when I say fuck you. And I'm like, really, people? Or they don't like when I say fuck your mother, something like that. Sometimes I just go overboard. And I'm like, I didn't mean it that way. I was just like kidding.
My mother is watching this, right?
I'm sorry, Mom.
And I just want to tell everyone, I have never seen, Tracey angry, ever. She's always just calm and cool, collected.
What's funny though? I actually come across, to people that don't know me, I come across like just so adorable and bright and sunshine and just like, oh my God, I just love Tracey, until The Exorcist comes out. And I don't even know what conjures up that exorcist. Sometimes it makes no sense, but the inner child in me. Sometimes it's between that gut and my head, and then the mouth is like, I don't even know. It's just, I mean, you've seen me turn into the Tasmanian devil.
I have seen your head spin around. Yeah. Definitely. And
you can't stop the train wreck. That's my favorite part.
God, no. No, it's just step back, take a few steps back.
Everybody's like this.
Yeah.
then when it's over, everybody's like, "Are you okay?" I love that part. Like, are you okay? So funny. And I'm looking at it from like outside in, like I'm not really still in my body, and I'm looking on the outside and I'm watching other people try to nurture the steam down. Nurture the steam down. Are you okay? So funny.
I think in their heads, everyone's asking, "Are we going to be okay? Is she going to?
I'll be
Are
next.
we going to be okay?"
You know, I
Yeah.
have to tell you, the world does not know. I mean, seriously, you guys have no idea how badly I turned. Tell them, Jason, it's monstrous.
Yes. No, not at all. Not at all monstrous. Yes, it is.
But I love Jason because you have been friends. You and I have been friends going on years now.
Yeah.
Years.
Years.
Have you and I ever had an argument? Seriously?
Yes. Just one. It just took one. No, no. We've never had like, I mean, you've even like done a spit take. You've like, when I made you laugh when you drank that water and you like ended up dousing me with it because you
Love that. Love that. That was pre-COVID, by the way. So thank God.
Yeah. Or else, get it. It's like Zoom would be the only way that we would like talk even in the future.
That actually happened a couple of times. And by the third time, you already knew. By the third time, you made a joke. You were like, you already, you already knew.
Collectively just ducking out of the way. Yeah.
Because you have that sense of humor that just comes from left field. And it just catches me by surprise. I think I'm doing fine. Like, oh yeah, haha, yeah, Jason.
Back, everyone. Yeah.
What? And I've already taken a swig, and you finish your last sentence. I don't get to swallow, and I'm caught between laughing and swallowing. If I swallow, I'm choking. Like I'm at that point. So it's like
Hello, everyone. I'm seeing like people saying hi.
Oh yes, yes. They all know Jason, Tiffany Willis.
Yeah,
she's so smart. She's been telling everyone to press the like button. Bori Snow is Gio Valentine. Have you met Gio?
Yes.
Okay, she's Gio Valentine. Kiana, hey Tracy, hey Jason, hi everyone. Hi Deborah, or Deborah, who knows?
Yeah, I've met most everyone either in classes or experiences, whether it's past life regression experiences or so.
And most of us have had some amazing experiences in Europe. One of them, you have many different types. We're going to talk about one of them that you're doing soon, but the one that was advertised that all of us went to was past life regression. That was amazing. That was amazing. And so appreciative, because I have to tell you, that class gave everyone clearing.
That's pretty rare, when just everyone gets something out of it enough to, just kind of sink their teeth into it and to be able to, move either through something, some kind of blockage that they've been holding on to, or get clarity, and I'm all about that. I'm all about facilitating a space where people can get clarity about who it is that they're becoming.
Well, that brings me to another point, because we're going to talk about your next class that we're going to invite people to get some inner soul growth. But that brings me to another point, Jason. Who are you?
Oh my God. There's that question.
Here.
I'm surprised you haven't read my bio before you invited me on here.
You know, I actually went to IG, and I love your IG. I went to your IG. No, it's not showing up here.
I try to mix it up on IG, you know,
It's
to
fun.
add the dogs and the butterflies and the,
It's
you know, all these
fun.
influences in my life.
What type of butterfly is this on your IG?
That is a monarch caterpillar.
Is that the one your wife helps birth into this world?
Yeah. She creates the space for them. She has like a
Yeah.
lot of milkweed. She has these netting containers. They're like soft containers that they can be safe in. And then when it's time for them to go into a chrysalis state, they climb up the sides and just hang from the top. So we'll get these containers that'll sometimes they'll have like 50 chrysalis sacs, you know, just hanging from the top of them.
And
And
that's when they're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly?
yeah, it's like
Are they
they go.
mostly black with white, with yellow edges along the wings?
No, they will be orange. When they're butterflies, they will be the orange butterflies with the black around the wings with the white spots.
Oh.
And so
You
that
see,
one we brought home from a garden, and it's in a chrysalis state right now. So it should be turning into a butterfly, maybe within another 3 days, 4 days, something like that.
you should take a. Oh, so this is the butterfly. That's the monarch.
That's the monarch, yes.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that's the monarch. Yeah, so I will
Got it.
be updating on that specific one because
Yeah.
they're so amazing when they emerge from the chrysalis state. It's like this thin membrane that they're resting in. They'll just slide out and they'll like dry off, and then they're ready to go into the next journey. So I mean, to answer your question, because what you ask is profound, right? It's like
Thank
who
you.
am I? Because
Who are you?
like the caterpillar, it's like the caterpillar can go, hey, you know, I'm this person and this is what I do and I eat all day and all that. And then one day it's like, you know, they're called to like basically suspend themselves, and then they split open, and then their physical outer layer falls away. So we're not just the outside appearance of ourselves, and we know that, you know, it's like we've changed from childhood to adulthood. It's like there's been so much change, and so I don't identify myself by my outer self as much as the inner part of my journey. And
Wow.
I've been someone who's just been open to new experiences, to new challenges, listening to that inner calling. You know, when I was 16, I was bit hard by the music bug, and I dove into music, into writing songs and singing, playing guitar, and then learning bass, and then, you know, creating music, composing music.
Yeah.
And it was all from within. It was all this you know, music that I was hearing inside of myself, and I gave
Yeah.
myself permission to explore it and to express it, to put it out, to share it. So that's a part of who I am, is someone who isn't like a you think of artists, you know, like maybe like Emily Dickinson, right? She was a poet she has amazing poems. She was never published in her lifetime. You know, she died young. All of her poems, they were found after she had died, and they're amazing poems. But I don't want to be that guy, you know, where I just like create a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, because it might all end up in a box somewhere, and someone comes in and says, "What's this?" "Oh, it's a box." "I don't know." "Well, throw it away, you know, and it's like all gone. So I am someone who likes to share what it is that
Good
I've
word. Good word. You like to share. Good
and
word.
hopefully inspire others to activate, their own inner inner calling. I'll just call it that, because sometimes it's not a voice. Sometimes it's not like a direct command. It's like, you need to be a musician, or you need to be an accountant. It's sometimes just a direction that one is just it's almost like there's a magnetic pull, and
Yeah.
you may
Yeah, I
not
understand
consciously
that.
know all of the details of it. And I feel that I've definitely had a lot of that, and I have found like a real home in the tarot,
Mm.
because it's I look at the wide spectrum that it represents of
Right.
life and death, joy, suffering,
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
the emotions, all of the ups and
Yeah.
downs.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's a way of sharing with others, a way of navigating life,
Yeah.
and not in a religious sense of where these are the rules and you got to do it this way, or else you're
Got
gonna
it.
burn.
Or you're gonna die. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a part of like that inner being that is um, open to the directions that are still opening up for me. It's like at the level
Mm.
that I'm at right now, it's like
Yeah.
there are so many more levels that I want to go to,
Yeah.
and they're ones that are a greater sharing, of just being open to a creative energy, of a something that allows for someone to find a center within themselves, where they can be calm within themselves, where they don't have to have all those questions about who am I, what am I here for. I've always known who I am, and I've always felt purposeful in everything that
Mm.
I've done. I've never felt like, oh my God, I'm wasting my life doing this. Never felt that. And whether I was doing music, or I was in a production artist, or creating the ohms, it was always for a higher like calling, and so the tarot is a part of that at this journey, and the meditations.
Mm.
That's those are great access points. They're doorways, so that one can go into their own being and start to um, you know see their
Actualize a
own,
better self.
yeah, they can see that themselves at work there.
Mm.
Is that the long answer?
Well, first of all, it was a beautiful answer. Um, I think that when I came into this world, I think I came in to just enjoy everything. I didn't know I was going to be of service. I said, I want to dance. Told my parents. They said, okay. You know what I mean? I wanted to try gymnastics. They said, go for it. I did it. Wasn't good at gymnastics. So that was short lived in high school, right? Because you can't start in high school. No, little did I know. You got to start at 3, right?
Yeah.
But I still did it, you know? So I think I came along to just, I thought to just be. I didn't know I was gonna be. And so when I got to tarot, I said, I'm gonna do this tarot thing. And I like Jason because I think people needed to hear that from you. Because it just, when you said it, it was just such a relief to say to hear you say how much you love tarot. It's such a relief for someone to care about this part of life. And that includes breathing to me. I can't even imagine if I had never found tarot. I can't.
Mm.
I think I would be just miserable, just miserable. And so Tarot gave me, you know, a hop, skip, and a jump. Like I was a regular worker over here, and at night I was a Tarot, you know? And I was like, and I didn't know, again, I'm just going to go back to, I never knew this was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I just knew that this book, where's this damn book? I started with this book years ago, never put it down. I just knew that this book was the answer to some type of internal change within me.
Mm.
And I had to figure out the answer. But I was all alone, Jason. You know, I was all alone in a culture that was like, that's devil's work, girl. You better stop, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, that's a intense culture or environment too. But I was telling a
Who
friend
is
the other day that that pressure is sometimes that necessary ingredient to propel us, to give us the incentive to create something more.
Hmm.
You know, if it's an easy environment, if everyone's going, Tracy, you can do this, you know, if mom and dad are just, you know, Tarot, yes, that's for you. You know, the whole community going, yes, Tarot. It's like you may like feel like, oh, you know, I'll get to it when I can. That was actually kind of
Interesting.
my, you know, since I mean, you were talking with my sister the
Yeah.
about a month ago, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the environment that not that I was raised in, but that I was working in my 20s and 30s was metaphysics and past life regression and you know, psychic ability and all. So this was not an area that was like, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. It was all, yes, it is something. So let's get to it. But I was so in it. It was like I didn't know my place in it. I hadn't had to find
Hmm.
my place in it.
You know, I kind of remember that because I remember when you came to the Green Man store, you were really green.
Not color, not, not the color green. I was.
You
I
were. I remember thinking to myself, what's going to become of this? Meaning you. I remember saying that to myself. And I remember then saying, yeah, he'll figure it out. And Jason, I remember the structural change inside of you.
mm,
I remember the structural change. And then I remember to me, we never had this discussion, the fight to stay there, the fight not to participate in a regular Joe's life. And then realizing that if you were going to stay here in this world, I mean, you needed to figure out how to venture beyond yourself. And before you know it, you're doing stuff over here and stuff over there and starting a tarot class over here, the radio show. You just started all of these extensions of yourself. And I was like, just talking to myself, I was like, yeah, there you go. There you go, Jason. You know, just keep incorporating something under the umbrella of tarot
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and meeting people. And then I saw how easily people gravitated to you. And that was a beautiful thing because that meant you were a special person. That you, on top of trying to sustain you, the way I see it, found like people like you. And you gave them permission to grow and sustain. And then you started giving classes. Like I watched you. I watched you. I watched you develop. Not, I watched you grow. Not like this, but every time it was like a shift and a shift and a shift. It was so beautiful to sit back and observe to the point where you had become my mentor. I could trust you because you had a unique perspective of doing tarot. And it's still unique, it's still beautiful. And then when I go to some of your classes, then I see the old people that you met a few years ago. They're still in your life because you're the core, you're the center. And you give people permission to develop their way, not your way, their way.
You know, that is well said. And thank you. I mean, that's beautiful. You know,
that's my job. My job is to give compliments.
And I go, you know, back into memory lane, and it's difficult to like just, you know, chart the like one's progress, right? Unless you do like some kind of Excel chart or some kind of graph, you know, it's like, well, this is when I started this and this is when I started that. It's like it can feel exponential, right? When you give yourself permission just to you know, in your case, I mean, you helped like push me out of just that, you know, being in the what I call the psychic sweat mines. You know, where it's the grind, right, or the psychic salt mines. You know, it's like the you get into a grind of like, okay, I'm here. This is now just me doing the clientele work. You know, it's what, 15 minutes,
walk,
half hour.
Yeah, and it's a rhythm that can also get very boring, by the way.
There can be a repetition, you know, but I'm not crazy about factory work. And, and what I mean by that is where you get into this groove that can become like a rut, you know, just because you keep doing it and it's comfortable. It's like, hey, I know exactly where I'm at and what I'm doing, but you can.
But is it okay?
Not for the long haul.
Yes.
Not for the long haul. And so you know, with the Periscope and your radio show and all that, it's like you like put your hands firmly on my back and went, whoo.
Get out there. Do whatever you want to do, but get out there. Move beyond.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know, flying around for a little bit. And then it's like, you know, once you get to those heights, you know, where you can kind of like see, oh, you know, it may not just be this, it can be something else too, you know. And that's when
anything you want it to be. It could be as creative as you want your world to be. That's the beauty about the metaphysical world.
Yeah.
But then we lost contact for about 2 years, maybe 3 years. I think just 2 years. I think 2 years. And then you called me up and you were like, let's go to lunch. And I was like, I'm headed to Malibu. What a beautiful, serene environment on the highway to get to Malibu. If you guys don't understand how beautiful Malibu is, you'll never get. I see why people live there because it's gorgeous.
And it's not that far away from
me. It's not that far,
LA,
right?
yeah.
And in the middle of the day, it was wide open. It was beautiful. So in any case, going down there and we reconnect. And something happened. What was it? My birthday? And you were doing the TP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was in the autumn. Late August.
And I thought, I'm going to go for this TP event that Jason was hosting. I said, I'm going to go. And I grabbed another woman, Yemi, and I was like, hey, do you want to go with me? Jason, when I watched what you did at that event with how many people? 20 people. And what I love was that how you had us all pull a card and you never replaced the card. Like that was unique. You never replaced the card. Everyone got whatever they needed to have out of the 78 cards. And you had us pick, I think, 2 of them.
I think you picked one. I may have picked the other one. Someone else may have picked
Oh,
it.
yeah. It was something. It was beautiful. And in that moment, because I hadn't seen you in a while, I didn't know that you had grown up. You had become Jason Tarot Wizard. You were the it guy. And when I was watching you, I was like, oh my God, I no longer know this Jason. This is a whole new Jason to me. You were standing in your power and standing in your essence, and it was beautiful. Like, you had everyone mesmerized. You had everyone in awe. You helped explain why the cards meant what they meant, how they picked it, how you picked it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, yep, yep, that's me. It's so true. You were really, really in your growth, essence, effervescence from that point. You were in your power.
The magic behind that is
Yeah.
that I let go. Is I didn't know what the evening was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't something that was planned out,
Mm-hmm.
scripted out. There's no way that one can, just have that knowledge of like, wow, Tracy's going to pick the Queen of Cups, and I'm going to say this, right?
Yeah.
It's just that. And again, what I love about the tarot, it is, there you do have an intellectual basis in it. You have a moral basis in it. You have a spiritual connection, and
Yeah.
you activate that in the moment. All right,
Yeah.
you stand at that place of surrender,
Yeah.
and you facilitate this sacred space where
Mm.
anyone can, just express what they need to express in that moment. And we've both been like privy to just beautiful moments, in that, and that's part of the fuel that keeps me going and wanting to share it more,
Yeah.
with a larger section of the world. Is it for everyone? There's a lot of perhaps blocks towards everyone just saying, oh yeah, this is great. It's because of just cultural and religious differences and all that. It's not going to be for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but for the people that it can, again, just be like a key that unlocks a certain door that allows someone to experience the divine in a way that they feel more deeply connected to it.
Yeah.
That's like that's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And
I also think it's a trust factor to invite yourself to an event. There's a trust factor with spirit, not even with yourself. Hold on. Just want to get rid of something. Not even with yourself, with spirit, where you're like, I'm going to go and have this experience. And then to come out of that, it was just beautiful. And I'm literally sitting there going, oh shit, Jason is there. He's here. You're a part of the bigger system now. You're a part of the pool to get others to change and to grow. And it was beautiful to watch you be that now. You weren't about yourself anymore. Not that you were. I'm just saying sometimes stepping in, it's a self thing. I'm worried. Will I ever be? Could I ever be? I'm learning, but it was like, I am. And you dropped the ball. Like, there's no explanation here anymore. The wizard part is for everyone else. You are the I am in you, and that's enough now.
So imagine my take, you know, like being able to experience, you know, and facilitate these spaces, like when the COVID hit, you know, last March, and shut down everything. all of these venues, all of the live gatherings done, right?
Yeah.
And in that spirit of wanting to connect and still be able to share the tarot, then it's like, you know, having to go to the digital, you know, go to Zoom, and you know, just start to, you know, be like the, you know, just kind of flying like that, you know, just out there again, you know, like getting your bearings about that environment.
Well, except this time you are already who you are. You just had to shift to a different digital source. That didn't change who you are. It's like, well, now see me in this platform.
Yeah.
But I can understand it might have been uncomfortable when all your abilities to literally reach out to people and talk to them, when all of that had changed. I could feel how shifting might have been uncomfortable in the beginning. And how are you doing now?
I'm it's like home now. You know, it's become like just second nature.
Yes, that's such a good answer.
Well, it's something that, again, it's if one is staying true to like the bigger picture, right?
Yes.
If they're staying true to, you know, if one is like looking at the vehicle and they're like saying, oh, it's got to be that car or that vehicle, it's, you know, it's got to be that specific way that I do my thing, then one is in that place of the Ten of Swords, where they start to get themselves stuck.
Trip over yourself. I like to call the Ten of Swords tripping over yourself, and you put the knife in your own back.
Yeah. And so this was like an ability to then just say, you know, the vehicle is going to be the vehicle. You know, it's like show up and do your work wherever you are. And I always tell people,
Zoom is the vehicle.
And Zoom is the, yeah, it's the environment, and you know, to be able to bring in people from all over rather than just in the Los Angeles area.
Hello. Now you get to talk to the world.
Yeah.
That's beautiful to me.
I wasn't ready to talk to the world though. Like, you know, like when I was green.
But I also think radio pushed you out there. So you were very well ready for Zoom. And you stayed on the radio for how long? You stayed on for quite a long time.
It was like about
5 years.
I did like 200 episodes.
That's good.
And you know how when you first start something that can be daunting, like doing an hour program. It's like, you want someone with you, you know, someone that you can bounce back.
I know. I get that. How did you overcome that? Because I actually went back to the radio recently, and you know, I was on the radio by myself at first, and then I picked up a partner. And then I decided that the partner was like not being kind to me. And so I had to drop the partner and be by myself. And it was very successful, very successful. But none of it felt right. Nothing I did in the radio was perfect. And I don't mean that in a perfect kind of way, but it's got to feel right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was sticking it out and sticking it out and sticking it out. And then by this time, Ezra was born. So I'm running over to see this newborn child and then running to work, you know, working at the Green Man store at first and doing a radio show. And it just got to be a lot. And so here's the thing. I gave it up. You know what, Jason? I never stopped paying for it.
You still have it?
Well, now I've handed it over to a group of girls called the Gems.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
that includes Melissa, Geo
Hi, Melissa.
Valentine. Hi,
I'm
Melissa.
seeing Melissa there in
Yes.
the green heart chakra
Geo,
hearts.
Geo Valentine, that's Geo Valentine, and Shonda Berry. So they do a Saturday show every day at 12 noon Eastern called The Gems, where they talk about the gems and blah. And I said to them, I was like, listen, I'm paying for it anyway. So just do the show. And they're really good and dedicated at doing a show every single Saturday. Melissa comes up with different gems. Like it reminds me of you and I. It reminds me of our beginning stages. It reminds me of just get in there, put one foot in front of the other. Don't worry about your future. I talked about this today on my portion of the radio show. Just get in there. Yeah. Be dedicated. Just do it. Don't worry about turning out like me. I'm crazy. I don't know how I got here. I know I put one foot in front of the other for 10 years and did not do any public readings for 10 years. Didn't even charge anybody for 10 years because I didn't feel qualified. But as of recently, I took back up the radio show. Mm-hmm. And now I read a book to the world. I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. I'm not here to please in a structural kind of television kind of way. Like there's no right way. There's no perfect way. So now there's this book that I've always loved. And so I'm always telling people, pick up the book, read the book, and I thought, let's just read it to the world. So now I'm going to be reading books to the world. Metaphysical type books. Maybe some things out the Bible. I really want to do Revelation. I got a guy, Ron, that's like, when you get to Revelation, let me know, because I want to come and talk about it.
Isn't it just the soundtrack to our life right now? Revelations, like.
That's why I want to read it. I read Revelations years ago, right? And one of the things I can tell you about Revelations is that if you read it and believe it, you go crazy, right? But I read it. And so now I'm here and I'm like, didn't I read something in Revelation about this, that, and the third? I'm just waiting for the 4 horses to show up. There's these 4 horses in Revelation that's supposed to show up and go to the east, the west, the south. When them damn things show up, we're leaving. We're all leaving. Oh, let me just see something. Shit. A plane went down over Colorado.
Is that a big plane?
I don't know. I'll tell you right now. Engine trouble and drops debris over land safely. Woo!
There you go.
There you go. 241 people aboard.
Oh. Wow.
Now, if I was on that plane, I'd be like, Revelations! My God! Guess it's my time, Lord. As you hear people screaming in the background. Funny thing is, when I'm in a crisis like this, I'm like this. I'm just going to accept my fate. If I happen to land safely, I'm kissing the ground wherever I land.
Mm-hmm. Let me mention something about this the soul progressions, because you were asking about what it was.
Yeah.
And because I've been doing the past life regressions, and that's looking looking backwards, right? Looking at
Mm.
potential origin of maybe maybe a blockage, or something that you feel like you're uh, having a hard time moving through something. And it's not always that. It can be a positive thing too, where it's like, where did my love of being a psychic come up, and you go back to a past where you were maybe it was uh, some fortune teller back in the 13th century or something, something.
Possible.
Or because there's in the metaphysical community, there are a lot of healers. There are people who are
Mhm.
looking to activate that, right? And
Yeah.
so you look at the past, and you can you know access these memories. And sometimes the memories are ones of where you're doing good in your community. You could be in a tribe somewhere, right? You could be a
Mhm.
medicine woman, you could be a shaman, you could be um, in a village, and you're that go-to person who has the knowledge of herbs, and um, is the midwife, or just whatever is coming up
It's
within
a
you,
service. Yeah. Yeah.
to kind of see like how that's been activated. And some people will have like experiences where they've been supported by the community. One's not so much, where they've been burned as heretics, or
And these are past life experiences that you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And to see if someone is ready to step into an identity in this life, if they're ready to take ownership of
Mm.
those energies that have been percolating within themselves. And it's like they know themselves to be a certain way, but it's like there can be these blocks of like actually sealing the deal, of making the move. And so that's past life, right? What I do with
Right.
soul progressions is we experience, it's like there's a stated goal of uh, what someone is working towards, and
Mm.
they may not have that finished version of it that they have accomplished yet, but
Yeah.
they want to activate it. And so we'll look
Yeah.
at the past to see where it came from, and then we'll move forward to the future, and look to see how one is activating it at its peak.
So soul progression class, because it's a class that you're giving, is identifying where we're at with our soul's purpose.
Yeah, I mean that's the overall
Yeah.
picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And without I mean, we can also like kind of bring it in a little bit to where it's a goal that one is looking to
Okay.
activate.
Accomplish. Activate. Okay.
Yeah. But a large goal, not just like going out and going to Trader Joe's this afternoon, and you know shopping.
It's
I like
really pushing through. Like pushing through. Listen, I know that I speak to women in particular that all like not all of them, but they're having that internal conflict. They've got something that they know their soul needs to be doing,
Mhm.
and for 1,000 different reasons are stifled. And so I like this soul's progression because I really feel like it can get you to get closer there. Especially, Jason, for people that already has been labeled into a particular role. Especially women, we get packaged into a particular role. We get packaged into being, you know, submissive, a wife, a just this. Well, you're just a secretary, a just this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something like churning inside that makes you, when work is over, at the end, I always see it as the end of the day. Like, and you, like, it's really funny because I like the cape, you know, syndrome, where you take off your cape and you're somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which is, I think, which is the reason why I love strippers, because they can act like a mom during the day and be like booty shaking at night, because you've ripped open something else inside of you. All right. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wind up with a lot of women that want to get there. Their souls are talking to them. And society, the way they've been trained and formed, is saying, And I think we need something that begins to foster the different you. But I can tell you, just from stepping into this world, Jason, I've never been happier. Ever. I'm so happy in this world. I'm so at peace. And it has just brought me everything that I've ever wanted in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happiness, which kind of tells me that maybe in my past life, I didn't experience happiness, because I'm literally in this space of happy. I like this. The show is called The Metaphysical Way to Earth Happiness. Earth, here. I don't want to die. I know heaven's beautiful. I got you, God. It's beautiful up there. I'm not ready. Like, I want to do something here. And I want God to give me permission to be like, I'm not stopping you. And I think people like you are here in front of us to help us get out of that structural discipline that somebody else has put us in, either religion, our mom, our dad, our friends. Friends never let you grow, ever.
That's the trick. I mean, with it can be loved ones, you know, who become like they want to see you just stay in that nice, comfortable identity.
It's comfortable for them.
Bingo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's such a loving environment, it's pressure on us, the individual, to then like bust out of it and to become, you know, who it is that we need to be, who it is that we're called to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
So,
question at the onset, right? Who are you? I mean,
who are you?
that is exactly about, you know, just stripping away kind of the bio points, you know, the ones of, you know, and getting down to the core. And you know, I think that with a progression, like looking back, but also looking ahead, to have a vision there that is of inspiration to you, to see yourself like being this person that you need to be, and then like, you know, bringing it back to the present, and then within higher self, that place of your conscious self, that conscious self that has the overview, that can step back, you know, take a step back, see you from a higher perspective and say, you know, are you taking the steps now to activate this? Are you doing what you need to do now to build towards this future of you performing at your peak, you know, of you being this person that you're being called to be?
But I also think the soul's progression comes at a perfect time, right? Like, potentially, we all have COVID knocking on our door. Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, many of us don't know who we are. We know we're Tracey Brown. We know we had a son, you know. But most of us don't have the ability, Jason, to be a musician and to feel that. Like my son is like you. One day I said something to him about a particular job and he was like, no. And I was like, but, and he goes, Mom, music is everything to me. And I was like, oh, I keep forgetting. You know, sometimes I forget he can't be what I need him to be. He needs to be whatever that is for him. And so I have to pull back and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Which means I give you permission to be you. But most of us, especially in my age bracket, no one let us be just whoever we wanted to be. You know, Jason,
Hmm.
sometimes I just want to sit alone by myself and just hold a crystal. Seriously. I'm just happy, you know, with this. You know what I mean? But if I showed people that in the beginning of my development in the physical world, people would laugh at me. They would call me weird and why do you have to do that and blah, 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 blah. It took everything in the beginning before everyone else stepped in um, to accept me for who I was. And so I had to do it sometimes in the privacy of my home. And thank God I found a group of other psychics that didn't make me feel so weird and out of place because we were all out of place. And we just found an outlet to be out of place together. Until, I don't know about you, Jason, but we had this thing called Negro Solstice that just happened to Black folks. And they're woke. They're woke. But they're woke in the physical world. And it's like, oh, okay. Welcome aboard. Thank you for showing up. Boy, do I got some things to tell you. I'm excited about the soul's progression because I know a lot of people like have that inside of them that's like, where's the rebirth at?
Hmm.
And how do I rebirth? And is it okay to rebirth? And am I going to feel weird? And, you know, who's going to be there for me as I go through this struggle?
Right.
It's nice to have a class that can, you know, facilitate that around others that are also trying to facilitate that. Now, I never took your soul's progression class.
What?
I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell. So I'm excited to participate.
I've only done it twice before.
Got it.
So that's why you haven't
Yes.
yet. But I'm going to be doing this one on Thursday of this coming week. So it's the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, the 25th
What time?
of February. 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. I'll be there.
6 p.m. Pacific.
Do you have a flyer I could post on my site?
A flyer? You mean like a printed piece of paper? A flyer?
Remember So 2019? No. How about a digital flyer?
I do have a like I've posted it as an ad or an event on Facebook, and so I do have something like that. But
I'll just
it's
copy and paste.
yeah, it's something that I would probably need to have like like one piece to it. Yeah, unless you were to screen grab it. But yeah, I'll make sure you have something. I'll make sure you have something.
Thank you.
Who's saying hi? Oh, Shannon. She's saying,
Yeah.
"Sorry, I'm late, but I'm here." It's like you're here at the best part.
I'm so excited to visit my soul's progression because I can tell you right now, Jason, I've decided that I am stifled now. I think I've reached my maximum in where I stand in life. And
Do you
I
think
don't
it's
know what the
cycles
next
though?
step
Do
is.
you think it's just you think it's just cycles though, where it's like, it's like you make progress, and then it's like it's there, it's just kind of like in a nice comfortable space, and then it's like ready to like bust out of that and start the new cycle. Do you think that you're
Maybe,
revving up?
maybe it's a new cycle. It's not. It's definitely under the same umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely still metaphysical, but just like shifting on the next road. Like just a little shimmy to the left.
Mm-hmm.
I think that. I think I know, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that. I'll let the soul's progression answer what I think. I think I know, but I don't want to be ahead of myself. I do think I know, but I think if I can get some answers on how in the middle of the COVID, or is this right for me, or am I supposed to wait still? Like what I think I know, am I ready for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think just going beyond being a psychic is bigger to me. You are one of the first people to tell me that I do shadow work in others. And I love that title. I love that. I didn't know that I was doing that, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
But shadow is where many people live. And getting them out from under the rock, thinking that nobody sees their actions, and boom, spirit is like, I spoke to a lady yesterday. It was so cute. I spoke to a lady yesterday, young lady, and she was asking two very different questions. One was about love, and one was about, like, let's say work. I'm just going to make it up.
Yeah.
And I did the reading, and I said, does love and work come under the same, umbrella? And she was so cute. She goes, oh my God. Because it absolutely did. But the way she posed it to me, she's like, I have two questions. And one was love, and one was, and it didn't look like they connected.
Yeah.
But, you leave it to spirit when you trust spirit. And I think I'm at the point, I know what it is, Jason. I'm at the point of completely trusting spirit. Completely. I surrender all. So, with that being said, I feel like I need to shift to get uncomfortable again. And I'm okay with being uncomfortable with a new beginning. Yeah, exactly what you said. Yeah. Yeah, something new. I don't know. I'm open because I think that's like my COVID moment is when all is said and done here, am I the same person? I don't know if I want to be the same person.
It's like, who are you?
How dare you? How dare you?
Right? On my show? How dare you? That's my question.
The joke is, let me tell everyone the joke. The joke is, if you guys haven't noticed, I ask everyone, who are you? I don't tell them until the day of the show. Everyone is uncomfortable. Everyone. And
Me
I go,
included.
no, don't be uncomfortable. Jason, an experienced metaphysical person, was like, what? And he turned it back on me. And it was uncomfortable. But what a master you are.
But that is like exactly, what a relationship with spirit is. And, I've been, in like this last year, I think more so than not, because, when I first started teaching, it's like, I didn't want to just like in the tarot, I didn't want to just say, okay, well, this card means this, and this card means that, and this card means
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
Because that seems like that can get you into this weird box that you can never get out of.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the very first classes that I came up with was being in uncertainty, but being able to navigate uncertainty.
Mm.
What I call it, like cultivating the uncertain or something like that. And I was going, that sounds like a really fun class, and I don't know how I would teach it. And a lot of times I would just go into it not knowing, just maybe like a certain framework. Maybe I'll talk about the moon card or something, but
Yeah.
but that is the relationship that we have with spirit. You know, it's not where everything is just laid out like an architect's blueprint. You know, it's where we're having to fill in some of those blank spots by showing up, by being present, and that's the power of that relationship that one builds with their spirit, is that they start to become more present, more conscious, and they're not flying on autopilot. You know, they're not just reacting in the same ways in their relationships. And if someone says something and, you know, in the past you just like, it's like, what? Or what's even worse is like just diminish yourself, right? Say, oh yeah, you're right. I can't do that. I can't be that person because that would mean this, and this. Whereas in the present, you know, you can start to say, I see where I've been, and I see where I want to go now, and this is where I can start to make these changes, just gradual, right? Just baby steps, step by step. You don't have to dive into a new identity, but it is about taking ownership of these places that you do want to go, and the person that you do want to be, and to look to facilitate that. And you know, you start asking the universe to bring you opportunities. The universe is there. It hears you. I do it every night. I do a candle ritual, and it's about just being in gratitude for what has come my way, and asking for an opportunity to be of service and to do this work, this work of the tarot, of the you know, however it shows up. You know, if it's doing a podcast, if it's teaching a class, if it's having a session with someone that is intense, you know, it's that's the work. That is the work. That's the work of the healer, the work of the person who is in relationship with spirit. And you know, it doesn't have to look exactly like my path. It doesn't have to look exactly like your path. But it needs to you know, it needs to move forward. Energy needs to move. If you hold on to it and say, oh, you know, I'd love to be that person, but I just can't, then it's about having compassion for yourself, saying, you know, why can't you? You know, bring what it is that you bring to it. Tracey.
So I do want to, we're going to wrap this up, but I do want to talk about other gifts that you have. And I'm going to say it wrong, or maybe I'll say it right. No, I am going to say it right. Qigong.
I'm disappointed because you said it right.
Oh no. I'm growing up.
So you have a question about Qigong?
Well, yeah. One, what is it? Two, how'd you get into it? And why it works for you? And three, have you considered, I don't know if you do, if you don't, so forgive me if I'm ignorant, showing us some techniques while we're in the COVID that we could be doing in our homes? Have you considered what that looks like?
Now that I haven't considered, only because there are like qigong masters that are like there, but there are reference places that of people who.
But wait a second.
do the
What
work.
if I don't want a qigong master? What if a qigong master is too heavy for me?
Right.
What, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just. But what if you listen? I don't know why I'm putting you on the spot here. But what if you show the ordinary Joe some simple techniques, and then you're the qigong master eventually yourself?
So I mean, qi is the energy of the universe, and it's we have qi, like CHI.
Yes.
Qi is just the
Moving the energy around.
yeah, and most of the times you see the masters like just bringing it in as like a ball form, and there are martial arts that are based around like this circular movement of the hands and all, but it's part of my meditation where I'm gathering this energy, and it's one that I'm formulating a connection with this ball of energy that I'm creating, and I'm looking to infuse that with intention, and usually I try to keep it pure. I'm not like saying, yes, I want to go on to Tracey's show and I want to like impress everyone and all that. It's like it's nothing that gets to be so specific or where you're trying to bend the will of others, right? If I'm looking for an opportunity, it's just like I keep it very for someone who needs a service that I can provide, something as simple as that. And so bringing this in, and you have this energy ball, and then I'm sending it through thought, through feeling, through that spiritual field, and then I'm releasing it. I'm letting go of it, and just like when we plant a seed in the ground, it's like we have like an environment for it that we can we can water that environment, but we can't like just go in and just make that seed start to take root, to germinate and then take root. That is outside of ourselves. And when we focus on something, it's like, well, I got to make this happen, and it's like we can get into that desperate state, but that desperate energy can wreck things more than anything. Think of relationships that one has been like, I got to make this work. I got to like, that kind of energy is, it can kill that environment, it can make it not a healthy place. So that's something that one it's something that we can just work on, with our how it is that we look to create the opportunities for ourselves. I use the example of the person who goes to the job interview, and then they're desperate, they're sweating, and say, I need this job, you got to give me this job. It's like chances are the interviewer says, you know what, we have some other people in mind, and we'll probably we'll keep you on file, but there's the door.
But so you're saying that you could take qigong and create a different energy. I don't get the whole ball concept, but I would love to see this as a YouTube presentation, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, Tracey.
You're hearing me.
I actually started writing a book.
What?
Yeah. I've been told to write a book, by a lot of people, but I've been resisting it. And, I mean, you know how I am when I've resisted something in the past,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's just about finding the mechanics of it. And because I found a way to dictate the book rather than, you know, typing it or writing it out.
Because
It's
dictate is easier. It's you have your fluid from your soul, your spirit, your limber by dictation.
That's the idea of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes one is like, oh God, you know, it's like, what am I going to say? And then it types out, oh God, what am I going to say in there?
I love that.
And so, you know, I certainly am not a perfect being, but I have a willingness within me. This is part of who I am, a willingness to find out how it is that I can express it and to share it.
Can I add, which is one of the words that I hate, but can I add even through fear, even through not knowing, you know, I've seen you, one, be resistant, and two, shift. However shift looks like to you. And then once you break out of that, you're stepping into your soul's purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fear with you, though. I don't think it's fear, but for others, it's fear. I just think with you, it's like, I need time, which is a Leo thing, by the way. Leo's a fixed energy. It's not that we can't get to the next level. We got to sit here for a minute. We'll figure. Thanks, everybody. Go up the stairs. Fine. Do your spiritual crap. Whatever. Like, good. Do it. We're just comfortable sometimes on level 1 for long periods.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. It's just how we are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But once we get it inside our brains, I mean, that's why I've been a psychic for so many years. I'm a psychic on different platforms, but I've been a psychic. And like you, I'm questioning some structural components about me. I don't know what it looks like. So I'm definitely going to come to the soul's progression to get some answers. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I'm a fixed sign. I'm saying I could listen for a minute. I could take something else in.
Right, right.
So I appreciate you, by the way, when I offer a suggestion like us ordinary people, we know there are masters out there, Jason. I know there are masters out there. Sometimes it's way above us anyway. Like they're not helping us when you're so masterful. You know, you've talked about qigong for years, and I'd love to see it. And I'd love to get some exercising components on shifting my energy, whatever that looks like in qigong.
Well, I feel that a class or just something that was live as opposed to a set video would be very helpful.
Live would be fine.
Maybe something a little less like public to start off with.
Maybe
See,
Zoom.
I mean, you hear like me resisting this, right? Again, like
you're just on this level. You got the idea. You know, you're putting it around, and then you're like, I'm gonna just do it from this level, Tracy.
I'm being an example to everyone watching, right? Of like resisting stuff, like coming up with like excuses, right? It's like, well, no, not like, you know, where I'm just, you know, on doing a TED talk on it already. You know, I just want to like, you know, just I do believe in like you know, doing things in a way where you're not just you know, setting yourself up for failure, where you don't you know, rent a big hall and it's like, yeah, I'm a teacher now and I'm gonna have 3,000 people show up, you know, when you haven't like done a class yet.
Work.
Like,
yes, not
or
even
the
a class,
work.
but you're gonna have a theater's worth of people show up all of a sudden and not be prepared.
Because enthusiasm, it is a thing. It's a necessary ingredient, but one needs to have have something to back it up. I've had a lot of fun today, Tracey.
Thank you. So again, I'm gonna bring up qigong.
What happened? There you go.
I know. See, got to go back to my original self. Qigong development. Let's just say.
Yeah. Yes.
And let's just remember, like, I'm comfortable with any version of putting one foot in front of the other. That's what I love anyway. I don't need perfection.
Progress,
I just
not
know
perfection.
that one day we're all going to die of the COVID or the vaccine. I'm not really sure which one. Did you get the vaccine?
For one, I'm not over 65.
Right.
And another is that I'm still waiting to see kind of, I mean, there's a lot of rush.
Yeah, I noticed there's a big rush.
And it's
but
like
is it the rush to take the mask off? I get all confused with this need to have, like, in some stadiums, it's like COVID testing to the left, vaccine to the right, and both lines are very busy, very long.
Have you noticed people not wearing masks at all because they feel like, oh, well, it's old history?
No, I'm in a hood, so we are still wearing the mask. Have you noticed people not wearing a mask?
No, it's like,
Malibu's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of them. Good.
Yeah.
Did you know, Jason, that they said no matter how many vaccines you get, I think somewhere the new Johnson & Johnson is like, you're going to need 3 vaccines. It's getting out of hand now, right? Now we know it's a money grab, right? And do you know that they said you're still going to have to wear a mask? And now we're up to 2 masks. Did you hear that? Not just 1, not 0, not 1. You're going to wind up wearing 10 masks, Jason. With the vaccine.
I mean, what's the point of the vaccine if you're just having to...
Somebody tell me. I don't know. I'm confused. But
I'm just going to grow my mustache longer so it covers up my mouth.
I'm just joking. Vaccine lovers, go enjoy your vaccine. Wear your mask because they just... Listen, have a relationship with COVID. COVID's a real thing. So she's a bitch. She's not a nice girl.
No. No. I mean, it's like I have many friends who, just as you have, who've either had someone close to them pass or,
hell yeah.
or they have passed, and it's just like...
Oh, no. Do you know someone personally that's passed?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jason. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Wow. That's heavy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a real thing. I mean, it is something that's
it's a real thing
and happening. But is it frustrating is all hell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, it's like just how we navigate it. It too is it's uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And it's being I mean, taking the time. I feel like this time has been like just one where, it's called us to get right with ourselves. Not just distract ourselves, but to find out who we are at our core, at the deep levels, and then, activate that, because, time is, it can be short.
It really is precious. We thought of it as a phrase, but now it's like, I wake up now and I go, I woke up. Okay. Thank you. That brings me back, though, to hone in on why you're even here, right?
Yeah.
The soul's progression. I need to know where my soul is going. I know that any potential of anything is 90% or 20%. But today, I know I'm alive. And I'm no longer willing to waste a moment of my life. I'm not wasting a moment anymore, Jason. I want to know what my soul wants to do, like really do. I get it. I walked into the psychic world. I made something of it. Thank you, God. But something tells me I like to do this, a rebirth. What's that butterfly thing? What does the butterfly do? How do they crack that cocoon open?
Yeah, that's exactly how they do it, except they're upside down when they do it. Yeah, because they slide out of it. The gravity does their thing, and then they have these legs that come in and grab that sack, and then they slide out. The wings start to unfold, and they dry off. It's amazing.
Where are my wings?
They're there.
Where are my wings? Where's my butterfly moment? Something's got to shift, Jason. And I feel like it's time for something a scale to be cracked.
Well, that's the thing. It's an organic change too.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that does come from within, and there is a permission, but there is also that surrender too. And it's like where, you know, one gets back into the overall plan, as opposed to, you know, the plans that we make just within our own mind about oh, it's got to be like this and it's got to look like this and all. And you know, I have found in the last few years that I mean, most of that just goes out the window anyway. And that's why I will show up in class and not have like a specific like script to, you know, a certain way of teaching something. It's like you access things in the moment, and it's that's where magic is created.
Yeah.
It's where, you know, you have that connection that things are answered just in the moment there, and it's like, okay, I understand this now.
Yeah. All right, Jason. So your soul progressions class is, repeat it again.
It's Thursday, the 25th of February, and it's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, that's 9. And there's meditation involved for the first part, and then tarot at the second part of it. So, and it's on Facebook as an event, and I'll give Tracey a flyer there.
What is a way that people can reach you best?
You know, usually through Facebook. If most people are on Facebook.
No, most people are not on Facebook.
Wow.
No.
Through my website.
Okay,
Jason
I'll take
D.
it.
Mckean. I have a contact there. It's like you can text me on my phone or email me.
JasonDMckean.com?
Yes. So JASONDMCKEAN.
Can you see the banner?
Oh my God, technology. Yes.
Jason D. Mckean.
In the house. Right here.
Hip hop version.
You know, I am so street. I'm so like with it.
I love that though. I love that. I love how, listen, Jason, you don't look versatile, and yet you are the most versatile person I know. You
That's
are
who I am.
hilarious. You are educated. You are kind. You are generous. You are fair. You are growing. You are one with whoever you're teaching. You're not above. You're parallel. And you're kind of like not a crutch, but like, go ahead, lean on me. Not a crutch, but just like, it's okay. You can hold on to my elbow here. I see you as all of that.
Not
And
every
I've watched you develop others, and I've watched them just be authentically themselves, and that's your gift.
not every butterfly that comes out of the chrysalis is ready to take off, right? It's like they're still because
Processing.
they're like, you know, they're someone new, right? It's like they're a new being, and the world has changed. And so, you know, it's like you hold the butterfly there, and you know they're like just practicing, right? But then they take off, right? It's like they know what to do. And so, you know, rather than looking at it like a crutch or you know, it's and I let go. You know,
Yeah.
I let go. You know, I'm not like, you know, with students, hey, you know, you're going to be a class. You know, it's just like come to class when you want to. You know, but you know, with clients and all, it's just like you let people go.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm a
Jason,
terrible marketer. No,
what'd you say?
I'm a terrible marketer, right? As far as
No,
that, isn't that the
I
thing of
didn't hear that
marketing?
part.
It's like
You said you're what?
a terrible marketer.
No, I think that was perfect marketing. Like, remember, we're talking about the metaphysical world. So 2019 marketer would never know what to do with that. 2021 metaphysically, people hear you.
Yeah. Got it.
Jason, I adore you.
Tracy, I love you.
I actually want to consider you one of my best friends. Or one of my trusted friends. How's that?
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
And you are the mentor that you know, I trust you. I trust you, and I know that you know, everyone who listens to you, who watches you, it's like your authenticity rings true. You know, and so when you say that, you know, you're looking for the next step and all that, it's like, you know, it's reflective of all of us, you know, because I do that as well. And that's the process. And so, you know, I watch you with you know, with love and with you know, just appreciation. And so thank you for
Thank you too, Jason. I'm honored to have gotten to know you. God makes no mistakes. And how we wound up in the same place together at different times and connected and basically came out of that place with just you as a friend. It took everyone else a while to figure out I wasn't that bad.
Oh my God.
You and Deborah. Deborah loved me from jump. And Deborah came from Ocean County to meet up with me. Not that that was the purpose, but when she came to the Green Man, she was coming from Ocean County.
Wow.
Yeah. And Deborah and I left that place friends. So I got good people that I know, like good people that are in my personal sphere. And you're my reader now. You're my go-to. So maybe after the life progression on Thursday, yeah, after I get some answers on the life progression, then I'll get a reading from you.
All right, it's a date.
I need to know things. Things are changing inside of me, and I'm going to bust out of this place soon, Jason. I'm going to bust out, and I need to know. I mean, you know I'm going to Washington in a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the change. And I'm just going there blindly. I'm going closer to family, but they ain't going to be nowhere to be found for a while.
Right.
I'm not moving next to them. I'm just taking the time to get out of Dodge. Like, something has to change. Something has to give inside of me. So if I'm feeling this way, man, everybody else is feeling that way. So we just want to make sure, like, what is COVID saying to our souls?
Well, it's that pressure, right? It's looking to crack open like the next level. It's that pressure that can be.
It's the rebirth.
Yeah.
What is that? I'm ready to rebirth. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm ready for something. I don't know if it's change. I think it's a shift, not a change.
It's like your core is not changing. What's changing is maybe your ability to how you're reaching out to others. How it is that you're being more of that shadow work person, the healer, and being able to focus in on that much more.
Yeah.
And where people they see you as that, you know, where they instantly kind of attach or are attracted to that. So
yeah.
You know, it's okay to be a work in progress too, where, you know, it's like you one step at a time.
I'm ready to go to the very next. Like, I'm not climbing no stairs, Jason. I'm just saying next. Go. Yeah.
Right. And there's no taking the elevator, no taking the escalator. You know, no cheating.
I'm only gonna come right back down that escalator and sit on the first step. I know me. I'm a fixed sign. But I want to invite anyone and everyone to give your soul that has been speaking to you for the longest time an opportunity to get some answers. What are we asking the soul? What's the soul telling you? And let Jason's class be part of the tool that could possibly crack the code. We're not saying tomorrow is going to be the change. We're saying in the midst of COVID, and we have enough time with COVID here. COVID's not rushing us back out in the world. So with COVID here, let's start rummaging through ourselves and our Kundalini and figuring out, like, what is this? Who am I? Who are you? Who am I? I surrender, Jason. So I'll surrender to you to surrender all.
And so we're going to state a goal that we're working towards, you know, and that can be an identity that we're you know, stepping into, and you know, something that we're going to explore. So that's what you need to bring, is that just a goal. You know, it doesn't have to be a completed thing. Right. You know, it's just
like, one day I'd like to be like that.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I do know what it is. I just don't know how to be what it is. But I also want to get permission if it's the right direction. I don't know. I know what it is, but it's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too heavy. And I know it's heavy. I don't know what I'm asking when I am asking for next level. That's why I'm taking baby steps. I'm not trying. If I tell people they're going to take me to a level, they're going to take me to the elevator. So that's why I'm not telling people. I just want to be comfortable. So I want to see what your class tells my soul, or my soul tells my soul, or spirit tells my soul. It's going to be fun. I'm open to all of it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tracey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's always.
You are amazing. People don't know. You get to know Jason. So you can get readings from Jason. He does tarot class, much different than I do. Probably much better.
Not necessarily. No, we're just different. It's like I've been doing classes in Japan, you know, where through a translator, and you know, it's like that's a trip, you know, because you have to do it in sections. You have to get a rhythm going of communication. But
How are they developing? How are they feeling?
They were loving it.
I
They were
love that.
loving the classes. Yeah.
Look at that. Again, Jason, look what COVID produced for you. You're all the way in Japan now.
Yeah.
Ah, it's such a blessing. That's a blessing, Jason.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jason, you're the man.
And you are the goddess.
I love you. I can't help it. I love you, Jason.
Thank you, Tracy. And to everyone who's you know, sat with us for this amount of time and all.
Yeah.
Much love to you. Thank you.
Yes. And I will see you Thursday.
All
Sign
right.
up for Jason's class. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.